After we finished one night, I noticed that I didn't go pee. Man, I ran to the bathroom. Her. She. Take a. What's up, my baddies and buddies? It's thetierrab checking in for a new video. Back on your screen with another video. So we have our first story time on the channel. And today I'm going to be revealing my hilarious pregnancy story. Just a little backstory, just like everybody else, I've been through a couple relationships. My girl birth control had me, so I'm thinking I'm good, I can't get pregnant. And it carried me on up until 25 years old. Okay, so mind you, I had only stopped taking birth control for 1 year in this relationship, my current relationship that I'm in, because I noticed it wasn't good for my body. I was gaining weight, especially in my arms. And if you're a birth control girl, your arms is like one of the first places that you gain weight. I'm talking about weight. So I started gaining weight in my arms. Like, I used to always be skinny, so I thought I couldn't gain weight until I actually got on birth control. So it was the weight in my arms. The rest of my body just kept spreading, like, let's not get on the bleeding and spotting for no reason. If you know, etc., etc. If y'all want a birth control video or the whole rundown, let me know in the comments down below. But right now, we're not here to talk about birth control. We're here to talk about my overall pregnancy. Okay, so I'm a birth control girl, running through niggas, running through relationship, woo-doo-woo. So I got in this relationship, and I didn't get out for him, mind you. I got out for myself because I knew that birth control wasn't safe. Okay, so I had only been off birth control for 1 year. 1 year. And it took 1 year to get me pregnant. If you know me personally, then I think I'm the fine, rich-looking auntie, the one who can't get booked, the one who buying all the high-end luxury gifts. Like, you want it, ask me. If I'm just rocking with you like that, it's yours. But the same love has to be reciprocated. But yeah, I was that person until God humbled me. I remember my nephew coming to me saying, TT, you don't really buy me nothing no more. But mind you, I stopped focusing on his wants and gravitated towards his needs. Fast forward 2 years later, and here we are. Okay, so that was the backstory. Let's get into how I found out. We had been in a relationship for just say 3 years. I think it was 3 years. And let's be real, I was working at Taco Bell. He had his job, so half of the time when he was gone to work, I was at home. So I had to take some stuff like, I'm bored. You can either give me a dog or a baby. And y'all, at the time, I didn't mean it, but I think I kind of put that out in the universe myself. But like I said, I really didn't mean it. Now that I think about it, yeah, I did that to myself. Just say a couple months to a year go by. After we finished one night, I noticed that I didn't go pee. Like, we high, I'm just laying there like I'm in La La Land. A thought hit me. Man, I ran to the bathroom, like running so fast you would think I forgot to flush the toilet and he coming behind me, like that type of fast. So I'm like just sitting there like, oh my God, you done messed up. So I go on with life like thinking I'm cool or whatever, nothing major, until I miss my period. Now this where the story gets funny for me. So one night we was sitting in his man cave, and I asked him, should I take a test? And mind you, I hadn't missed my period. It was probably like day 3, day 4 after the date that my period was supposed to start. And y'all know how sometimes, like, if you're a girl, sometimes your period can supposed to start on this day, but it's starting all over, like it's going to another day. that's how it was. But so, you know, I went on with my life. I wasn't worried until one night we were smoking and I was like, should I take a test? He was like, yeah. So, you know, we get in the car, go to Walgreens, get the test. And mind y'all, I'm high, so I'm just like, yeah, whatever, laughing. You know, it is what it is at this point. Okay, so we get back. He goes back to the back to, you know, finish doing what we was doing. And I'm in the bathroom taking the test. So I pee on the stick or whatever. And then I always stick like the test on the floor and just drip the pee in it. Okay, so I finish, you know, wipe, all that good stuff. And look down at the test and I see a dark red line and a faint red line. So I'm just high and I'm just like, no, not me. No, not me. Y'all, I kid y'all not. I'm sitting here looking at the test. And I'm going to put a picture up of it because I think I still got it. I'm sitting here looking at the test, laughing. Still in shock, still in disbelief. Like, no, not me. Like, the girl can't get got. Until I'm just up there, like, bucking my eyes. Like, is this real? Am I really taking the test? Am I dreaming? Like, what is it? Okay, so I'm so high to the point where I'm just down there like, you know, how you doing everything in slow motion. So I get my phone, I'm just like this, taking pictures of the test. So I sent it to my folks. Of course they didn't believe me. I think I told them before I even told Jalen. So of course they didn't believe me. They like, that's not yours, that's not yours. So I'm like, that's my bathroom floor. How you gonna tell me it's not me? Okay, so I'm so high, I threw the test away instead of just taking it to him to let him know, like, look, here go the test, this what it is. Instead, I just went back there high as fuck. I remember I had a bob and this black jacket on. So I sit back down and put my hands on my jacket like it was positive. He hides here, he just looking at me like all slow, like, you lying. He already talks slow, y'all. He's like, you lying. I'm like, no, I'm not. Still laughing. I'm like, no, I'm not. He stopped playing. So my high ass showed him the picture, y'all. Instead of just getting it tested and putting it in the trash. But I ended up having to get the test and show it to him. And he was just in disbelief. Like, we both just in a high dome and in disbelief. Like, at this point, I can remember both of us being in shock. Me having mixed emotions. Everybody happy for us, but I was still like, like, you know, I want a baby, I want my daughter, but, you know, like, all this time I didn't get pregnant, and God, this is when you decided to make me get pregnant, like, with this nigga. Is it a sign? Like, what is it? And that night, I snapped in mommy mode fast. Next topic, back to work. So I'm working at Taco Bell down the road, literally a skip and a hop to work. Basically, I got tired of it and I needed an excuse to end it, like cutthroat, not going back. And let me tell y'all how I did it. I noticed like excessive wetness, like my panties was always wet in the middle. Like, you know, if you've been through motherhood, you know what it's like. And y'all, let me just say, it never had a scene. Don't try me. Don't try me in the comments. It never had a scene. But yeah, I'm always like too wet between my legs, because at the Taco Bell we could wear jeans. So, you know, I'm standing in the window and I can feel the breeze coming up through there. So I'm like, okay, I'm keep having to go to the bathroom. I'm feeling too wet between my legs. The customers are aggravating, the food is aggravating. Like, I'm over it. I can't stand the smell of the grease or nothing. Like, I'm just straight over it. Okay, so COVID hit. COVID was my golden ticket. Like, a lot of people say COVID messed it up for them. I'm one of the 1% that say COVID actually, like, COVID helped me get out of there. Like, I'm not gonna even lie, COVID helped me get out of it. Okay, so my excuse was, okay, like, I'm tired of basically smelling this food. I'm tired of being here. one day, I think I left, like on my lunch break. I was so sick, and mind y'all, I'm just in my first trimester. I left, I didn't go back. So I said I had to tell, I gotta come up with an excuse to tell Jayla about tomorrow. I said I gotta come up with an excuse to tell Jayla about tomorrow. Okay, so I was like, I got the perfect plan. So I told him basically COVID hit, the inside is closing. They sending like all the workers home except for the ones that actually needed to stay to run the drive-thru. Y'all, the only truth to that was that they closed the inside down. Like everybody else was still at work except for me. And I know y'all probably like, why you had to tell him an excuse, etc., etc. It's not that I had to tell him. It's just being the boyfriend that I got. He's like very work oriented, like get up and go get it, like no being lazy. But for me, I just want to sit around and experience being a home mom at the time, like a stay-at-home mom. Like it was my first pregnancy. Is that too much to ask? Was I being lazy? I don't think so. I was just doing what's best for me and my child. Who you know? I'll wait. I thank God for this because I feel like my pregnancy was probably one of the easiest pregnancies on the planet. Like, line them up, I guarantee you I'm up there with them. Like, I had a great pregnancy. Okay, so one thing I could say is around the time that I quit work, smells make me vomit. Like, I tried to drink a lot of water, but water would actually come up when I eat. So, but my doctor told me that was because I should eat first, burp, then drink. But instead I was like eating, drinking, eating, drinking. You know, trying to make sure my baby get a lot of water. I mean, that was the new mom in me. Me, myself, I drink water, but when I got pregnant, it was like water, like that type of thing. So, you know, I would vomit literally everything. Like most of it, 90% of it was clear water. And y'all, it kind of hurted so bad. And the scent that'll come up in my nose. Oh my God, I hated it. I hated it. Next, if I would get hot, y'all, I was hot. Like I was burning up hot. Like finna fall out hot, that type of hot. So just say every time I took a shower, took a bath, I had to come out the shower with a fan. I remember sitting up like this, wrapped up in my towel, in front of the fan, drinking water in a Gatorade. Like this was by the time I got big. Y'all know, like if you had a child, you know how hot it be. I remember one time we went to a food truck, and I'm sitting out there trying to stand in line with him, my back sweating. Titties got sweat all around it, and I had to go get in the car. I used to always be like, you ain't mad, is it? You know, because you got to stand in line and you want to get in the car to see him watching you. But you know, he's a gentleman. He never just took it to the heart. He understand, you know, we was here. Around my third trimester, I wasn't even that big, but I'll say, if I'm standing on my feet too long, like my feet will literally get big as this house shoe. Like the thickness of this house shoe, and I'm not even playing. Like my feet used to stand up like it was full of fluid or something. Maybe it was, I don't know what it was full of, okay? But my feet used to actually get big, and I didn't notice it till one day I took a picture, and I'm like, dang, my feet fat. You know, I can barely slide it in my slides. Y'all, it was that type of fat. But it's like, when I sit down, that actually go down after a while. But my doctor said that was because I was having too much salt intake. So you get pregnant, make sure you don't eat too much salt, because it do comes with, you know, it do comes with side effects. Not being able to see your, y'all know how it is. Like even if you just got a little tummy now, like a little mommy food, just a food, whatever you want to call it, you know, when you look down, whether you're trying to shave or just looking down in general, you can't see your feet, you cannot see your, like, I hated it. In a tub, I just looked down, full of belly. Only thing I could see is my belly. Like, it was hard to shave. I used to have to get a mirror. I wasn't the type to just ask my boyfriend to shave me. Even though I, threw a couple jokes here and there, but I don't know. I just never let him shave me, I don't think. But yeah, so you definitely can't see down here. Other than that, y'all, you would not even know I was pregnant because besides my feet getting hot, I just couldn't see down there. You wouldn't knew I was pregnant. That's until I started having stomach pains. So one night I was experiencing heavy cramping and bleeding. So I'm a new first time mom. I'm very concerned. So like anybody else would have did, I went to the ER. Y'all know emergency rooms, they just ready to get you in and out. So basically they told me he first came in the room, and just by looking at the blood, because I did change underwear, I didn't take them, I just took a picture of them for reference, and I showed him. So he was just like, Miss Bigley, based off the picture, you could be threatening a miscarriage. And he just gave me the whole rundown about the miscarriage. Mind y'all, I'm still iffy, but I instantly started crying because like I never said I didn't want my baby. I just wasn't ready, like it's normal. But I started crying, like I was crying so bad in front of the nurse, like I couldn't help it, I couldn't hold it back. But he's like, no need to worry, that could not be the case. That may not be your situation, but we're gonna take a look. So fast forward, after probably like 15 minutes, they came back in the room. Y'all, that was the longest 15 minutes ever. They came back in the room and was like, well, your baby's fine, but we have to run a blood test to see like what's really up. They gave me something from my stomach. They couldn't find what was wrong with me, but they said that they was going to transfer me to UAB to have a second opinion. Not to mention, you just had a baby exactly a month ago. Now you're at the emergency room and having to be transported to the hospital on a stretcher in the back of an ambulance. This is my first time riding an ambulance. Y'all, I was devastated. Luckily, my sister and my cousin had came up here to actually help me with the baby, and they was here to stay with her so that her dad can take me to the hospital or the ER. That way she didn't have to be, in the midst of it, because I didn't want her in the midst of what I had going on. She's a new baby, she's sleepy, so I didn't want to move her around too much. Okay, so they basically telling my boyfriend that they have to take me to the ER. And he's like, well, I drove her up here. Can I not take her to the hospital? And they was like, no, it's an emergency, so they'll have to take me straight through the back door. So I had to ride on the ambulance. Y'all, now I see the ambulance all the time, and I see them with the blue lights, and they be flying, but I didn't know that they be like flying, bumping bumps, hurting the patients, more type of flying. Alright, so I'm just laying in the back of the ambulance thinking, I'm just like, gee, golly. Like literally, every bump in the road, I felt it. And if you know Birmingham, you know how bumpy the road is. Like literally every bump, I felt it. Okay, so we get to the hospital, y'all. My nurses were great. They were so sweet. They made me feel comfortable. They gave me something to ease the pain, to take it down some more, because I was kind of hurt again. And so they came back in the room. They asked me, have I ever had gallstones? So I'm like, no, I didn't know what gallstones were, to be honest, because y'all, I'm gonna just put this out there. I'm 27 years old, like healthy as an ox, never had no type of medical problems, no type of health issues until now. So just imagine how scary, and just let me continue with the story. So I was like, no, and this was after they ran tests. I'm like, no, this was before. So I'm like, no, what is it? And he was basically telling me that gallstones can be a result of pregnancy, because you know, once the baby grows, the baby starts to push down on the rest of your organs and everything else, which can lead stuff to swelling, stuff to bursting, or just basically move out of place. I'm just like, no, you know, I haven't never thought about that, or you know, the ER didn't give me any heads up of that. So they ran tests and turns out it was gallstones. He basically told me that a gallstone had got stuck into the pipe, one of my pipes, and it basically caused it to be backed up. That's why I couldn't use the bathroom. And mind y'all, I don't go to the bathroom every day like normal people. I don't. I know you might say it's not normal, but I'm not normal. I don't go to the bathroom every day like normal people. Okay, so it stopped me from using the bathroom, and it was causing my stomach pains, basically. So they was like, they had to have emergency surgery. I just had a baby a month earlier. I came to the ER for a regular checkup, thinking I was gonna get some meds and get sent home, thinking that it was full moon the cause of this pain. But you're sitting here telling me that I have to have surgery for the first time in my life. Y'all, I could have cried, because I'm just sitting there like, surgery? I got a new baby at home. Who's gonna, you know, take care of her like I take care of her? Really, y'all got me up. But you know, it was an emergency surgery. I had to go ahead and have the surgery. The surgery was a breeze. I remember laying in the bed talking to the nurse. He was basically asking me, he put the mask on me, and he was basically asking me what rapper I like. I forgot who I told him. But I'm thinking, you know, I'm a tough person. A lot of stuff people say make them fall asleep don't make me fall asleep. So I'm just praying like, Lord, please let this medicine work on me. I don't think it's gonna work, but please do your magic and let it work, because I don't want to feel none of this. Okay, so he put the mask on, and I remember looking at the whiteboard and just talking to him, because he was a cool, you know, one of those, but he was very cool. Like, he liked rap, so you know, we was here, we was on the same page. So I'm looking at the board, and it's like my eyes just started to cross, and then like the words was just going like that. Next thing you know, I'm asleep. So it seemed like 5 minutes later, I woke up. I'm in the recovery room, and a nurse was sitting to my left. So I'm like, it's over? And he was like, he's one of us. He was like, yeah. And he started laughing. So I started laughing like, what the world? Like that quick? It seemed like it was only 5 minutes, and he just laughing like, he think it's so funny, y'all. So I'm just like, okay, cool. We went to a room. Y'all, I was still bleeding from the pregnancy. Yes, from the pregnancy, you will have tons of bleeding. Tons of bleeding. Okay, so we went to the room, and basically I recovered. I remember Jalen bringing my baby up there to see me, y'all. She was so tiny at the time, and I'm just sitting there boo-hoo crying when they was getting ready to go, like, I'm supposed to be there for my baby, you know, this is bad. I'm not even here for her. She only a month old. Like, then I got to get out of recovery. But luckily, my recovery was like A1. I didn't have to stop doing none of my mom duties or anything. It was just, I had 3 incisions on my stomach. So when I sat down for a long time, they would get stiff. Other than it, that was it. That was my surgery. It was a piece of cake. And a lot of people still to this day don't know I had surgery, because that's just something I feel like I didn't have to run blabbing to the world about. So if you watch this and you got that far, you're one of the people who now know that I actually had a surgery, which is crazy sitting here saying it, but hey, it's my reality. Okay, so next topic is the big topic of all, giving birth. And y'all, I know this story time probably be all over the place, but it's just me and the way that I prefer to tell the story. So giving birth, my baby's due date was originally September the 12th, but I actually wanted to get induced, so because I didn't want to have to experience, even though I know a lot of mothers would, you know, people would actually harm to do this, but I didn't want to actually feel me basically going into labor, rushing down the interstate, rushing to pack a bag, rushing to the car, possibly having a baby in the car. I didn't want to go through that, so I chose to get induced. So I had her on the 12th of September, but we went in for induction on the 11th. It was originally scheduled for the 10th, but at the time it was a lot of people having babies, so they was like, Miss Bedgood, we don't have any beds, we will call you when you can come. So they called me the morning of the 11th. So my crazy boyfriend was like, man, we're gonna have a 9/11 baby. And I'm like, if we do, what that? That ain't got nothing to do with her. Rest in peace to everybody who was affected by the situation, but that ain't got nothing to do with my baby. But fast forward, she did come on the 12th. So induction, it was basically they stick a tube of you to make the baby, you know, to induce you. I remember I didn't have to get up to use the bathroom or nothing. I had a catheter. Excuse me if I'm not saying that right. I'm not a nurse. I had a catheter. However you say it. I had one of them, so you know it was a tool that basically drained my pee. And I didn't feel anything, it was just pressure. But when I was dilated, I did get the epidural, and that it was just pressure as well. I think I did make a mistake and move during the thing, my shot, but luckily it was so slight to the point that she just said, no, you know, be still. You don't want to hurt yourself or whatever. So during my labor, I only felt pressure, as I stated. I actually had a good labor, like I say, but I was so numb to the point where they like push, and I'm just like, I am, but in reality, I don't know if I'm pushing or not. I'm just thinking I'm pushing, like I'm just moving my bottom. But I only had to push like a good 7 times, and it's like navel slid right on out. I didn't cry. I don't know why. I just knew that I already had a connection with my baby. It was crazy, but yeah, I didn't cry. Pregnancy was a breeze for me. Labor was actually a breeze for me. Now that after labor, everybody always be like, it hurt when they push your stomach, that first pee on steam, etc., etc. None of that. They pushed on my stomach, normal. I did get cut. She did split me open, so I had to have, I think, like 3 stitches. But when I peed, normal. They do give you this spray bottle, so when you pee, you gotta, just in case it do burn, you spray and pee at the same time. And you also spray to, you know, wipe some of that blood away, because trust me, you are going to bleed heavy. It's like all of your blood from them whole 9 months gonna come out you. And I'm not saying this to scare y'all, because you know it ain't nothing nasty. If you had your period, you know. But I just feel like it's like all them months combined into one period. Like it was that much bleeding. So they do give you like long pads, but I think I had Pampers that I actually bought before I went in. Shout out to my mother-in-law, because she's a nurse and she recommended the Pampers. So yeah, I used those instead, and after I came home, I was still using them because they're comfortable and convenient. But yeah, that was my labor. Like, it wasn't nothing scary. I didn't let my water break. I got induced. I only felt pressure. It was just a lot of bleeding. There was no stinging of any sort. When she pushed down on my stomach, it didn't hurt. Yeah, that was my labor. So next we have after the labor. So after the labor, I had to go pee. And y'all, mind y'all, I got the epidural, so my left leg was so numb to the point where I was scared. It was like the leg was completely dead. Like, so I'm going to the bathroom trying to stand up, and I almost fall. And so they brought me the little walker thing over and told me to basically stand on it. And y'all, my boyfriend thought it was so funny. I kind of did too, but in my head I'm like, Lord, please just let my leg wake back up. Please, please, please. Because you know, I done heard some scary stories about what can happen with pregnancies, epidural, all of that. So I didn't want to be an example. A couple of hours go away and my leg did get back to normal. It did catch its feeling back. Thank God for that. So before you go home, if you had a baby, you know they require you to do number 2. A lot of people say it's hard for them, but it's like every day I was there, they was giving me stool softeners. And mind y'all, I was kind of worried, like I'm not gonna never go home, because as I stated, I don't use the bathroom regularly like normal people. But they kept giving me stool softeners every time they came to the room on the hour or however they did it. And you know, my stool was a breeze. It actually felt good coming out. I hope that didn't gross y'all out, but it actually felt good. Like, seriously, I'm like, to be honest, I feel like the hospital rest was some of the best rest that I ever got. Even though they come check on you like every hour, of course you just delivered a whole human. That's aggravating, but I really do feel like the hospital rest is some of the best rest that I ever got. Like, I remember being on the phone and telling my sister, like, I'm actually kind of having fun staying at the hospital. I really am. But one thing I could say, like, them rooms was kind of creepy to me. I never cut my TV off or my bathroom light, so I'm leaving the bathroom light on with the door cracked, the TV on, and that's how I slept. Alright y'all, so that's my pregnancy story. I do give my pregnancy a 10 out of 10. I do not consider the surgery a part of my pregnancy because it actually happened a month after my pregnancy, but it was an outcome of my pregnancy, if you understand what I'm saying. So questions you may have, or if I haven't answered them clearly, let me clear it up. Was my pregnancy easy? Yes. Would I do it again? Yes. Have I decided to do it again? No. What I look like? I'm just playing. At least not right now. You know, I want my baby to get a little older and be able to help. I'm just playing, but no, not right now. Was recovering easy? Yes. Just be prepared to deal with a lot of blood, but we do that every month as women, so you got it. Alright my baddies and buddies, that's the end of today's video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can get notified every time I upload a brand new video. If you are a mom or expecting to be a mom, let me know how your pregnancy is going. Mothers, what was your story? How was your pregnancy? Give me a summary down below in the comments. Let me know if you have kids. If you want kids, you know, what's tea? Let's chat. And without further ado, bye.
Take a peek, it's me.